off last week, and folks, I got to tell you, and I've told some of you out there that may be listening, the week of last week, before last Sunday, the whole week, I did not feel right. I don't know why. I think maybe it's my age catching up to me, but I just didn't feel it. And I told the wife Sunday night, she said, well, you doing a show? I said, no, I can't. She said, what's wrong? I said, I'm just not feeling it. I just don't feel it. Thanks for replaying that last week, Jackson. Barclay Randall, we had him on with AA. He's out of Donaldson and made a great guest. Now, let's move on to this. We are live with you right now. Of course, it won't be obviously when you hear this on podcast later in the week. But I have a friend here with me, and we're going to go over a couple of things here, 2 or 3 things. We've had a lot to talk about here in Middle Tennessee this week, we all know. And I've asked at the last minute, because most of you are in Florida, or were, because of spring break, but a dedicated Rutherford County employee is still here. Rob Mitchell is here with me. Rob, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
You didn't comment. I was trying to show you what I'm wearing here. I'm not going to show it on camera.
You vote Rob Mitchell socks?
That's campaign underwear.
You have got to be kidding. I don't think I've seen that one.
I'm here to give you things that you've never seen before.
Okay, thank you very much. That'll be enough. The socks, we'll stop right there, okay? Folks, now, let me get serious with you, and all of you know this. We had a terrible, terrible situation in Nashville, Tennessee last Monday, okay? You know, all of you, I'm sure by now, and Rob, you can comment on this if you wish, the terrible shooting down there that took the lives of 3 of children, ages 8 and 9, 3 adults, and so to go full circle, and I wanted to do a show on hello, Carol Ann. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Carol Ann Elmore down in Chattanooga. And I wanted to comment and do a broadcast on school security here in Rutherford County.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I went to none other than a good friend of ours and good friend of this station, I guess you could say by now, Claire Maxwell. And she's on the Rutherford County School Board, of course. And her husband, Austin Maxwell, who is on the Murfreesboro City Council and also is head of the Rutherford County Republican Party. And I said, and she said, I would love to. Said, you know, of course, they're doing, Rob, help me out here, they're doing some modifications on 3 or 4 of the schools, which is what the plans are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told Claire, she was very open about it. And she wasn't going to be in town. She was in Florida, but one of her friends were that's on the board. But here's what she wrote me, and I spoke with her just earlier. Hello, Ed. She sent me this text. I spoke with our superintendent, but he's discouraging the board from speaking in reference to security and additions right now. They're going to be meeting Monday, tomorrow, and they're going to formulate a statement for parents and staff, and of course for students, I'm sure. I'm so sorry. I'd be happy to come on another time, and I know she will. So no one's avoiding it. It's just a bit too soon. Rob, your thoughts on that? Anything? I mean,
like everybody else, I was just heartbroken to see it.
It's terrible.
The young lady that committed allegedly, well, she committed the offense. I'm not
sure
gonna,
she did.
I'm not,
yeah.
She did. Real good friend of mine, sister, taught her when she was 5.
Is that
5
right?
years old?
Yeah.
At Oak Hill School. She had issues back then. She was sent off to be tested. She tested positive on the spectrum. And
positive for what?
I'm not sure. That's just what I was told. She said
right.
they sent her for testing, and she showed up on the spectrum. Somebody that's in education or something like that
right.
would know what that means. To me, it means nothing except.
Okay.
at that point, she was removed from the school that she was in and put in another school, but I don't know what school she was put in after that.
Right. Okay.
But she had issues. What they were exactly, I do not know. But apparently,
right.
And her parents knew that she shouldn't have a weapon. They didn't know that she had gotten a weapon. She apparently went and legally purchased additional weapons.
Yeah.
Now, should she have been able to get those? I don't believe so.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. I don't believe that she should have had access to them.
You're because of the mental issues.
Right.
Right. And I've said it all along. I don't, you can't let someone out of a mental institution and give them the full right to go pick up an AR or any weapon for that matter.
But there again, what we, all of us, every single one, from one particular point to the other, we could be having a bad day and test wacky.
Sure. We understood.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be a temporary insanity defense.
Right.
Hey, understood. I lost it, and I'm not normally crazy, but in that 5 minutes, I was.
Well, like I said last week, I just was not feeling it.
Right.
There's days it's not clicking, but here's the thing. I knew it. I said, I can't, I've got nothing. I've got nothing to say. Now, we had that unfortunate situation. We've got an indictment of a former president, which is unprecedented, what will happen Tuesday afternoon, which is scheduled to happen Tuesday afternoon. I didn't call Rob here to talk about that either. But I've called Rob here, and of course Friday night we had tornadoes all over, and Reedville really took it on the chin. Your comment, anything?
Well, I would like to say that anyone in Rutherford County who has suffered storm damage, it's not going to be your first priority.
Right.
But contact my office at 898-7750 or email at assessor@rutherfordcountytn.gov. Let us know that you have had storm damage. We will send someone out to investigate, and if it appears that your property has suffered significant enough damage that it's not going to be repaired this year, we'll make an adjustment to your property taxes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
So, folks up in Eagleville, up that way, I believe there wasn't as much damage up there, I don't believe, as there was.
Reedville, as I understand. And by the way, Bill Wilson, who I don't know what, Kelsey's going to be in here later, and I'm supposed to be helping out, I think, on Bill's show, or Kelsey may take it all on her own. I don't know. But Bill's not going to be here. But he did a video out in Reedville. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I saw part of it.
And 2 or 3 places out there just level.
It hit the Reedville Mill.
The mill, okay.
It did hit the mill. It hit Tilford's Lumber, and Tilford's Lumber, it's no more.
It's no more.
It hit Four Corners, which was the home of...
Now, you're not talking about Four Corners Boat Dog in Laverne.
No,
you're talking about, this is a whole different Four Corners.
Right, it's the house of Newton Cannon.
Newton Cannon.
It was, down there in Reedville, so...
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a historic home. So,
the wife told me did understand that a disabled lady and a disabled child crawled out from under some debris, and luckily we lost no one.
Right.
During that,
they're very fortunate.
Very, very fortunate. Very fortunate. Okay. And then we had Thursday night, and this is the reason your Rutherford County property assessor's here. His name's been drugged into it again, and. Rob, you're just too easy to target,
Hey,
on and I'm misspeaking on this, and I know I want Rob here to correct me. The reason he's here, and he knows this stuff. He does, folks. On the fee, there are fee or tax or whatever you want to call it on building of new homes, and the builders and real estate agents are raising Cain about it. I understand. We are not here to assess blame. We're not here to point fingers. That's not. Rob and I don't operate that way. We're here to see, first of all, how did we get here, and 2, where are we going, and what will be, if you don't mind. And Rob, thank you again for doing this.
Oh, no trouble.
Thank you so much. tell us this particular situation. They voted it will go to the legislature, and then it will be voted on down there, and we'll come back for a vote by the taxpayers here, or the citizens.
They had a private act.
Okay.
And the private act didn't make it. So
Okay.
now they are trying to see if they can get it attached to another bill that might be up there as an amendment, as I understand it.
Okay.
And at that point, I don't know.
It's a bit of a quandary right now. Okay.
And there were some things that happened that I don't agree with.
Sure.
With the way
Sure.
some of the things went down.
Okay.
I don't think it. I understand that there were some passionate feelings from certain individuals, elected officials and stuff up there at the steering committee meeting. I understand that.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's going to happen.
It is, but I don't think it benefits anyone when we go out and we try to make another elected official publicly look.
Yeah, humiliate them or whatever the case. That's not why we're here. Right.
There's an old management thing was, you criticize in private, you praise in public.
Sure.
When they do something good.
Okay.
If they do something that you don't agree with, you take it behind closed doors and then you say, look, what happened?
Understood.
How can we do better with this?
Agreed.
The citizens, I was talking to my wife before I came on, and she expressed her displeasure with me and with other elected officials.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's just being honest.
Yeah,
and a lot of people feel that way.
They feel that way.
They feel that way.
Unfortunately, we do have a growth issue.
Yes.
We do have an issue that's putting strain on our ability to pay for it.
Right.
But it's, I'm going to use a fishing analogy. First reel is maybe a Zebco.
Right. Zebco 202 or whatever it was. Yeah.
So you sit there, you push the button, you throw it in, you wait for your bobber to bob, and then you reel it in.
Right.
Well, everything keeps going fast. You can only cast so many times with the Zebco, and somebody says, here's an open face reel.
Right.
So first time you throw it, you're trying to operate like you had a Zebco 202,
right?
And you get a massive snarl in it, and you've got a big fish on the hook, and you can't reel anything in because you've got a snarl.
Right.
Well, that's what growth has done to us. We've been operating as a small county with a 202, and now suddenly the fish are coming fast, and we have been given something that we are not accustomed to handling because we still want to try to fish the way we did the old way.
Well, and to use your analogy, not a very big net on that boat either.
No.
Yeah.
No net.
To hold all the fish. No net at all. Right.
Grab it with your hand.
Jackson's going to be good enough to go ahead and let's officially put us on the air. Okay, let's do this thing. But for right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
All right, and that is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. And this is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and your host, Ed Raymer. The show is produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach me and Mr. Rob Mitchell tonight with your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your ideas at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. And you can also send us a text to that number, and our producer Jackson will be glad to read it over the air or give it to me, and me or Rob will read it for those of you who do not wish to be heard live. We understand some of you may not. Now, you can also listen to us via the internet at WGNSradio.com. All of my broadcasts there, all of our broadcasts there, most of us have a broadcast there that is on podcast. And take WGNS, you can listen to WGNS, take the WGNS app, and take WGNS with you wherever you go, listen whenever you wish. You can download that. Pay particular attention to Miss Angela Bingham and Simplicity. She's doing a great job. And you can now get us. We are live on YouTube. Okay, Big G TV. If you're looking at us right now, some of my family and friends in western and southern Kentucky, hello. Cousin Eddie is here with you. That's true. And hello, everyone. And you can find us on YouTube at the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. And you can tune in, and all of our shows are going to be there. We've made the big time, Rob. So I know.
All right.
And they started that about a month ago, and we certainly appreciate that and the opportunity to be there. Now, as I said, of course, your Rutherford County Property Assessor, Mr. Rob Mitchell's here. Now, Rob, let's, if we can, first of all, congratulations on the money that you were awarded for the chess situation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Could you comment on that, please? Because you got
sure.
some money.
As listeners may or may not know, we are attempting to put into place in Rutherford County a critical thinking and life skills program utilizing the game of chess for our at-risk youth. I reached out to Mr. Marcus Lemonis, who is the chairman of Camping World. He also has a CNBC show called The Prophet and an HGTV show called The Renovator, telling him what it was that we were trying to do, and he graciously donated $5,000 to our efforts. And we raised an additional $300 from local folks in the community. So a $5,300 grant is going to the Board of Education to be used in alternative schools for the benefit of our local children, to try to help them see that there are opportunities out there if they simply learn to think before they move.
Understood. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do, because we got to talking, Rob and I did, which is not unusual for us because we talk all the time. And we're at already 17 and a half minutes after. Jackson, let's go to our first series of breaks, and let's get this out of the way. If you'll cut Rob's mic, please. I'm going to do this first. We've got some houses for sale. If you're tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner, I want you to call Celia Snodgrass. She can help you do that. She's a licensed real estate agent here with Benchmark Realty, and she's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream home for the past 15 years. Now, you can give her a call, and she has available, have an investor that's going to be letting go of some of these properties. These are roughly more or less $300,000 homes, and the owner is willing to take on owner financing and reasonable terms. If you want to find out about that, I want you to give her a call. Call Celia at 615-948-6737. She's with Benchmark Realty. That's 615-948-6367. Reasonable terms, reasonable pricing, fine homes. Be a good opportunity for you. We'll be back right after this. Thank you, Jackson. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219, or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry if you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullis Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Are you tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner? Celia Snodgrass can help you do just that. She's a licensed real estate agent at Benchmark Realty who's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. She's also enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. Currently, one of those investors is now selling some of those properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. So if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more by calling Celia at 615-948-6367. All right, and we are back. Jackson, real quick, Rob was looking on his phone. What is the correct address for YouTube? Tell us again.
So if you go into YouTube and you type in News Radio WGNS, our channel should be the first thing that pops up.
Okay, News Radio WGNS.
News Radio WGNS.
Okay.
And folks, I apologize. This kid, thank you for him.
Thank you, Jackson.
I can't
It's no
remember
biggie.
anything.
I was going
All right,
WGNS, and all I kept getting was WGN in Chicago.
That's not us, I don't think. Okay. Now, Rob, we're here to talk about this. And the reason, folks, I've called Rob is because, like I said, he knows this stuff. Those of you that listen regularly, you know we are a growing county. We're bursting at the seams. And to use Rob's analogy from earlier, yes, the fishing line is sometimes a bird's nest right now, if not all the time, okay? What happened last Thursday night, and what is this $5,000 fee? We got people going nuts over it. It's not official yet. We're a long way from there. It's possible it could wind up in your forte, that
Well,
we have to raise property taxes again.
Well, it would just actually wouldn't have anything to do with my office at all as far as that.
Right.
Because when someone comes in, as I understand it, when someone comes to take out a building permit, they'd have to pay $2,500 right there. And then when at final inspection, another $2,500. Well,
Certificate of occupancy.
Yeah.
What they call a CO.
when they get a CO.
Right.
Now, just say, I mean, that sounds like a lot. There were only 800 permits for structures outside of the cities in Rutherford County last year.
Okay.
So if you multiply 800 by 5,000, what do you get?
4 million. No.
I don't know.
I
You got a calculator, Jackson? Can you run that for us? 800 multiplied by 5,000. Do 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 do.
You'll get it right. Anyway, it's a bunch of money. 40 million.
$4 million.
$4 million.
$4 million.
$4 million.
That's not enough to even scrap.
It's not anything. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Right. Yeah.
But
the situation the county is currently in,
the county has only the county's obligations are, number one, to fund schools.
Sure. Yes.
Number two, public safety through the sheriff's office.
Sure.
Number three, solid waste.
Right.
That's it. That's the only mandatory things that the county government must, and county general fund operations.
Sure. And as I understand, most county general, and that's not just us, it's everyone, the school budget will eat up an easy 65 to 75%.
75%.
75%.
Is
okay.
And everything else is you're probably another 10 or 12% goes to the sheriff's office.
Right.
The majority of infrastructure for the highway department, which is only outside of the city limits, is funded through primarily through fuel tax. Comes from the state.
Right.
So
okay.
where's the rest of that demand?
What is the need right now? Can you put a dollar figure on it? Has anyone done that?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, thing. Well, we just need all we can get. I understand, but
as I understand, in forgive me if I misspeak. My understanding of the County Powers Act was that if a county has a fee structure in place at the time that it took place, they had an opportunity to either keep what they have and adopt the County Powers Act, or not adopt the County Powers Act, or to get rid of what they had and adopt it. The caveat is that if you adopt the County Powers Act, and somebody, if I'm misspeaking, correct me, is that money that's raised off of the County Powers Act must go directly to schools.
Right.
To fund growth.
And the terminology can get us now, because if it's called like an impact fee, is it not earmarked for, let's say, schools in this case?
Yeah, and that's what it's for.
Right.
The whole world is, all of the problems in Rutherford County are not nails.
Right.
So if you see every problem as a nail that can be fixed with one bigger hammer, you're wrong.
Right.
We may need a hammer. We may also need a pair of pliers and a wrench and a screwdriver. Not one solution is going to fix the problems in Rutherford County. Every morning I wake up, I smell Mount Trashmore. Nothing has happened.
Right. Agreed.
If something was going to happen,
you and a bunch of other citizens.
It followed me all the way in to my office one day last week. I smelled it as I drove out of my door, and when I got out of my car at my office at 6:30 in the morning, I could smell it going in.
Now, if you're new to the area, what our property assessor is talking about is the landfill.
Right, Mount Trashmore.
Mount Trashmore. That's what it's jokingly come to be called. It is a mountain.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's probably close to 1,000 feet high now.
Right.
We're closing in
way
on
up there. Yeah, last time I drove out by there, it's way up there.
Right. So, I mean, we have a lot of issues. In solving the issues, none of it is going to be easy.
Right.
But if we work together and don't try to demonize one another,
right,
there are ways out of it. We're going to have to structurally change the way we operate. The cities will, most of the people in Rutherford County live in cities, but yet their permitting structure doesn't fund education.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the county's never asked them to participate, asked them to help, or not, but I think they should have. If your kids, if that's how we're going to fund it, then there should be something there, because what you have, there's a difference in fees and taxes. Taxes are what we pay to participate in a civil society.
Right.
Fees are structured to control and limit something. So you put a fee on something if you want to control and limit it. A tax is simply your part of operating in a civil society and paying your fair share of all government operations.
For the public good.
For the public good. So,
right.
And that's the difference. Now, there are people that say we're taxed too much. Folks, I got to tell you, Hamilton County, there are only 9,000 more people larger than Rutherford.
Yeah, you were talking about this. Please go ahead.
Right.
Pay attention, folks.
Their property tax rate is $2.25 per $100.
Okay.
Their budget is over $800 million. Ours is $700. Okay. We have $1.61. 161.62 is our tax rate. Knox County has a budget of over $900 million. Their tax rate is $2.12. They have the lowest tax rate of the 5 largest counties. The reason that theirs is lower is because they have sales taxes coming in for UT football, and they're also the gateway to the Smoky Mountains. So
Right.
they have
Okay.
much larger collections in sales tax dollars than we do. Their per person, the debt obligation per capita is higher than ours is higher than theirs by about $300, but ours is the second lowest burden, but we have the lowest property tax. So what that's saying is, if we say we're overtaxed, I would say compared to what?
Okay.
You feel like you're taxed too much, but nobody wants to pay more and feel like they're not getting what they need. Now, there are laws on the books. I've conversed with CTAS, and CTAS has confirmed there is a law on the books that will pay for infrastructure. Not schools, but infrastructure.
You're talking about roads,
Bridges,
all that.
redoing utility lines that have to be redone.
Right.
It's been on the books since 1911, and no county out of the 95 in the state of Tennessee has ever used it. Why?
What now? See, this is the reason I love having you on. What are you talking about? I've never heard of this.
No, well, it's out there. It's been on the books.
How come it's not utilized? People just don't know about it.
I don't know if they've not known about it, or they just simply don't want to use it. And then why don't they want to use it?
Where does the money come from?
The money comes from the area that you want to design.
Okay.
The county commission, at one meeting with majority vote, can set up an infrastructure district, appoint members to be the directors of that district, who can then levy an assessment on all property
Okay.
within that district, and can take out bonds
Right.
to fund it
Right.
and pay for it. So we have a system in place already. There's the wrench that you may have to use other than the hammer.
Right.
It
I see
won't
what you're
address
saying.
it won't
Yeah.
address the school portion, but it'll address the infrastructure portion
Sure.
of roads and highways and bridges. And the unique thing about it, the county can put it in place, and it's a district that they can draw inside or outside of the city limits.
Right. They can be anywhere in Rutherford County.
Anywhere in Rutherford County, they can draw it.
Sure. Right.
You know,
Now
so
this is something I have not heard of, and it's called what now? It's good.
It's an improvement district.
An improvement district.
Mm-hmm.
We have a caller on the line. Caller, please go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. Raymer?
Hello, is this Jeff?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr.
Hey,
Raymer?
Jeff, how are you? Say hello to Rob Mitchell.
Hey,
You know
Jeff,
him.
how are you, my friend?
Mr. How you doing? I just wanted to ask you one question. People say you're talking about all the stuff that the things the county has to provide, and people I've had people, so many people tell me that this school stuff ain't sustainable, and we just can't keep doing this, building schools and such this. And I know that people don't want to pay any more in taxes. Like you said, we have some of the cheapest. So we got some of the cheapest property taxes as far as the bigger counties in the state. I mean, the people not just they may not know this, or I mean, are you just the first one that's announced on the radio? Less than Chattanooga and
Right.
we have all these big cities out there that everybody thinks that we just pay tax and everything and all this kind of stuff and everything. And I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of things that's been going on this week, and I know with the storms and all this other stuff. And I do want to ask you one thing about the chess thing. Do you know how much more money you'll need to get that program going? I know you got a big donation from Mr. Malonis, but do you know how much more money you'll need to keep that going? And I know Mr. Raymer probably talked this week too. But guys, I enjoy your show. Thank you for everything y'all do. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jeff, and thank you for being a loyal WGNS listener. Rob?
Yes, sir.
How much more money you need for that? Do you really have an earmark on that?
Well, I mean, that should be enough to do the alternative schools here in Rutherford County.
Okay.
To get it up and started.
Okay.
We have requested from the General Assembly $350,000, which will be enough to do a 6-county pilot program.
For 6 counties.
For 6 counties for
Right.
$350,000. Folks, Alabama is doing this and has been doing it for about the last 4 years.
Really?
New Hampshire is currently in the process of doing it, not just in a county but statewide. We're behind the ball if we don't jump on this, because we can teach teachers how to incorporate the game of chess into their current curriculum, and the children retain it. They are enthralled with it, and they're motivated to learn.
I know when we were in high school, when we got into it, you really do. I mean, you look forward. Hey, it's after lunch. We're going to sit down. When we all went to the library.
Yeah.
And the boards were set up. I mean, this is a small Hopkins County, Kentucky school, West Hopkins High School, and we loved it. And here's the thing. A freshman can play a senior.
A boy can play a girl?
Yeah, a boy can play a girl. A teacher can play a student. Doesn't make any difference, you know.
Teachers don't like to lose to their students.
Got that right. That's true. All right, but good deal, good stuff. Now, unfortunately, we got to get back to this tax situation.
Sure.
It's not going away. I'm like Jeff. Do some people just not get it? I mean,
well, it's, people vote when they're angry. Very few people vote
I
when
agree.
they are satisfied with the way things are going. So
sure.
you have to create an issue that ultimately may be unsolvable, but it's something that you can keep people angry about so that you can drive them to the polls.
Right.
I don't want to get angry. I just want to fix a problem. My job is to find ways to fix things and to offer suggestions and solutions to it. Now, I'm not king. I have a certain area that I govern over, that I manage for the citizens of Rutherford County.
Right.
I see things that I believe can help, and I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm not above saying I made a mistake and I'm wrong.
Just have somebody tell you.
Just show me where I'm wrong. If I am, I'll admit that. I don't have an ego about that.
No, I know that.
Because we have to find a way forward. We have to find different ways of doing things. We can't continue to do the same thing that we've always done and expect a different result.
I know.
We've lost $11 million over the last 8 years because we only appraise properties once every 4 years. If we appraise property every 2 years, we would not have a statutory appraisal ratio applied to tangible personal property and state assessed property, which has caused us to lose $11 million in taxes. Right. That's money just evaporated.
So you're saying we should reevaluate more than once every 4 years?
We should do at least every 2 years. We can do that currently without it costing substantially more money.
Right. Yeah.
We can do it because most of the stuff we do in our office, we revalue on a daily basis. We simply put the numbers to it and roll stuff up once every 4 years.
Okay. So, in other words, it's much easier if you send Ed and Joni Raymer a tax bill and it went up only $75 instead of $275.
Right.
I can eat that a lot better.
Well,
but I mean, and people understand. Most reasonable people understand.
We're growing by 2 to 3% every year.
Right.
But the taxes, the value that we set, that the county commission and the city councils use to set their tax rates, is only updated once every 4 years.
Right.
So and it's not getting cheaper. So if they don't raise the tax rate every year, then they're not doing what they should be doing.
Right.
They're not keeping up. But if we revalued on a more frequent basis, then a revenue neutral rate would be calculated on a more frequent basis.
Right. Sure.
And then the values would be updated, and what you're being taxed on would be more accurate and more representative of the market value because the period of time is closer to it.
Sure.
So you have a much more transparent system.
Okay.
It's not rocket science, but it's doing things differently.
Sure.
And there has, and I'm sorry, it's very easy to say we have to have, there are things that the county has decided that they want, and I'm glad they want them because I'd want them too. But they're separated from, you have needs and you have wants. And when you buy things you don't need, you're going to need things you can't buy. And we're rapidly coming up on that, where we've bought things. We've obligated the county to certain services that we wanted.
Right.
But we're neglecting the things that we need and we must pay for. And now it's that, I'm sorry, but the chickens are coming home to roost.
Right.
So we're either going to have to say we're going to have to pay for these things that we want a different way, or think about doing something else.
We talked about this once on a show months and months ago, if not years ago. I go out here and I build a subdivision, 80 homes. People say, well, that's money now. Well, we just put those houses up, they've sold them, and now those people are paying property tax. That's paying for itself. But not really.
No.
It may be, I think you said, 37 years before that could see, before it actually comes into play. I'm not saying the money's not being paid, but the initial outgo is not recouped for more than 35 years.
Yeah. The amount of money that it takes, on average, to pay for the bonding out of the construction of a school is 40 years.
Right.
That's the property taxes raised off of those homes. If they were earmarked 100% to doing nothing but paying for the construction bond, it would take 40 years.
Okay. Sure.
That's why we bond it out and we leverage it. We pay a portion we buy it on credit.
Sure.
We buy everything on credit. We're making the minimum payments on things, and we're not paying ahead because we have things coming in that we've obligated ourselves to, and we now have a debt service that we have to pay.
Right.
Now, every year there is,
and a portion of that goes to interest.
Portion of it goes to interest. Every year, across the board, there will be money that has been appropriated but not spent.
Mm-hmm.
My office has turned back in close to $4 million
now
over the last 10 years.
Do you know what Rutherford? Does anyone know what Rutherford County's debt ratio is right now, as far as interest goes?
I'm sure it's in the finance work. Somebody knows. I don't
Okay.
know it off
I'm not saying you should. Don't get me wrong. I didn't know if you happen to just know. I know you keep up with a lot of.
Well,
things.
if I tell you what, you can. On the Rutherford County Finance Department, they've got a breakdown of that. And if you want to know how much your tax dollars go toward paying stuff, go to rcpatn.com and then look up your property taxes under real property. Then there will be a little tag there that will say view your tax bill. When you click on that, I have a pie chart right there that shows you where every penny is allocated and how much of it goes out there. I believe there will be something on there for debt service, but it's very small.
Okay. All right. We've got Rob Mitchell here. He's your Rutherford County property assessor. And I want to tell you about Celia Snodgrass. She's with Benchmark Realty, and she's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. Now, she has enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. And the man right here can tell you it's still booming. It's not slowing down. Now, currently, one of these investors is now selling some of these properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. Folks, this is a real deal. You need to jump on it. And if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more. Give Celia a call at 615-948-6367. Get you a pencil and write that down. 615-948-6367. Give Celia a call, and she'll help you on that. This is a real golden opportunity if you're looking to buy that first-time home. We'll be back right after this. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Are you tired of wasting money on rent and ready to be a homeowner? Celia Snodgrass can help you do just that. She's a licensed real estate agent at Benchmark Realty who's been helping Rutherford County families find their dream homes for the past 15 years. She's also enabled many individual real estate investors to achieve financial success in Tennessee's booming real estate market. Currently, one of those investors is now selling some of those properties to qualified first-time homeowners with low down payments and reasonable seller financing. So if you're wanting to buy a home, find out more by calling Celia at 615-948-6367. All right, and we are back with your Rutherford County Property Assessor, Rob Mitchell. Rob, where do we go from here? In short, we've got about 12 minutes left. What is your thinking on this? Let me ask you something. What do you think about this just as a private citizen? Can I ask you that? Is that okay?
Yeah. What are you asking?
Do I want to know what you think about this situation?
Well, I was paid. I'll consider it a compliment by one of our state representatives. He told me, he says, Rob, there's one thing I can say about you is you have an opinion and you're not afraid to let people know what it is.
Right.
He says that's a compliment. He says not everybody will do that. I just think that we need to get to work.
Right.
There's not going to be an easy solution. We're all going to have to come at this and figure out what part can we play. And if somebody has a suggestion from a different office or a different elected official that wants to know, why do you do things the way you do in your office? Is there anything you could do to make things better? I would say yes, more frequent revaluations.
Okay. You mentioned that, yeah.
Number two, you need to fund our office. You've got a chicken that lays eggs. If you don't feed that chicken, you're not going to get many eggs, and those eggs are the taxes that come in.
That's right.
The better job we do in our office, the better the results are. So make sure that you fund our office properly. We still have fewer people in our office running the office than we did in 2010.
And you have cut your budget back.
Right.
Okay. You were asked to do so. I mean, well, you weren't even asked, but you did it of your own, and your people are still operating. But there comes a limit, and you can't do that.
Right. We can only leverage technology.
We've got people in the county that are working second jobs because they can't make it on what they're being paid, folks. And I hate to tell our county commissioners, and I've got 2 or 3 friends that got out here and got elected. Okay. Now here's the bad news: you got to pay these people.
That's right.
And certainly the county commissioners aren't making all that money. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but you've got to pay to have qualified people. You've got to pay them.
And you don't tell somebody that's been radically underpaid for decades that you got your increase last year. This year you're not getting a pay increase.
Right. Yeah.
You can't do that. The inflation isn't going down. It's not stopping.
Agreed.
We have to realize that. We're one of the few counties in Middle Tennessee that only pay the minimum Right. There's
The
a
minimum.
statutory minimum amount that the elected officials, the county general officers, are paid. State statute sets that.
Right.
Rutherford County only pays a minimum amount. Every other county around us, with the exception maybe of Wilson, I'm not sure. Williamson County pays in excess of it. Davidson pays in excess of it.
Right.
So Hamilton County pays in excess of it.
Mm-hmm.
Knox County pays in excess. But yet we will only pay the minimum amount because that's all they're required to pay. We don't need to pay our county employees just the bare minimum.
I agree. I agree. You want qualified people, you got to pay them.
We have tremendous county employees in every office.
Right. Not just yours, everywhere.
Everywhere. And we need to recognize that the job doesn't get done if we don't pay them.
Right.
Because they're the ones doing the work. If we don't, it's real easy to complain. Anybody can complain, but
Sure.
come up with a solution. You know, people can get elected by complaining about things because they tap into this anger that people have that just wants to
agreed.
see the system
Yes,
as broken and crooked. And it's not. We have some excellent elected officials.
I know a lot of your people because I go over there. My wife and I have to have tags for cars like everybody else. We pay property tax like everybody else. We go over there, and you got great people. I mean, the one guy we always talk about is Russell Key.
Yeah.
Do you know what it costs to produce a Russell Key?
You can't afford a
No.
Russell Key. We're lucky to have
Right.
a Russell
Yeah.
Key type
I mean,
person. And
anybody ever knew their business, it's him. I mean, that's
well,
it. You know.
And you have unfortunately decisions that are being made in a lot of these offices come from a county commission that doesn't understand the complexity of each individual
Exactly.
office. You have to trust the elected officials that run those offices to know how to run them and what's in the best interest of keeping those offices operating.
I mean, you know, one of the guys I have more fun with is Rick Spence downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Now, I don't like it when he throws the clothes sign up every time I walk up, but I mean, treat all the constituents this way. But no.
What's bad is it's at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I know. If I walk up, you know, sorry, we're going to lunch, buddy. But, I mean, you know, just a fantastic person. Wonderful. Folks, if you don't know these people, these are wonderful people. All the ladies at the counter. I mean, and like I said one day, I was talking to Rick, as a matter of fact. This has been several years ago. And I said, you know, when y'all built this building, where you are currently, and we've had this discussion before, but I'm going to say it again, folks. I said, well, we won't need this anymore. And it's been there, 18 years now?
Oh, yeah.
You know. I said, well, this is all we'll ever need. And you got it made. I went in there one day, middle of the month. Now, usually the girls in the tags situation, I say the girls in the tag, I don't mean to, you know, be sexist about it. Most of them are the women that are down there. And those windows, I'm talking about every window is full. It's the middle of the month. Usually your busy time was the first of the month or the end of the month, where a lot of us wait till the last couple of days to go get our tags. This was like on 15th, 16th, 17th. And those, I mean, y'all were covered up. They were covered. I say you're upstairs, but they're covered up, you know.
I order my tags online.
Oh, man.
And it's not because I don't love seeing everybody downstairs.
Sure, you know, but they're busy.
If that's something that anybody that wants to help the operation of the offices can do, order your car tags online.
I think it's $2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and pay that little extra. It's less stressful than trying to drive into downtown Murfreesboro, find a place to park, and take time out of your day to do it.
Yeah.
Just order it online. That'll free up the congestion in the lobby. It'll free everything up.
Right.
There are things that we can adjust in our lives as citizens that make sense. Utilize the technology that's available to make your life better. And,
Right.
it'll
I agree.
It'll decrease the demands on the infrastructure that we have to have. But everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to work together. And we need leadership that's going to bring everybody together and not allow folks to butt heads and have petty arguments and have turf wars.
Yeah.
We need the leadership in all of the cities to work with the leadership in the county to prioritize and say, these are the things that we as a community must have. We must have schools. What is everyone going to do to help fund their part of it?
Right.
Now, Murfreesboro has a city school system, has a great school system. They don't have to have a school system. They're not mandated to have a school system. Only county government is mandated to have a county school system.
City government is not.
City government is not.
And what you're talking about there is doing as we did with Murfreesboro Electric, is the Middle Tennessee Electric basically took them over. And we're not talking about anything hostile here, nothing like that. But
City of Memphis got to the point they had a City of Memphis school system and they had a Shelby County school system.
Really?
The City of Memphis said, you know what? We're not obligated to maintain a separate school system, and it is financially drowning us. So they just closed it down and walked away.
Right.
And the county, Shelby County, had to pick up the slack.
Because the counties are obligated
Because
to do
the
that.
county must do it.
Right.
The county had a big pill to swallow. They weren't really prepared for it, but it made things a lot easier for the city of Memphis. And then the city of Memphis could in turn pay money to the county through an interlocal agreement to assist in covering for the education
costs. It doesn't
costs.
mean that all of a sudden Memphis is just flush with cash.
No.
That's not what you're talking about.
No.
That's not the case at all.
But at that point, when everyone is not fighting for limited tax dollars, they're not trying to duplicate the service, when everyone is working toward the same end, without egos involved, and that's really difficult. To put the egos down. I mean, it is. I have an ego.
Right, everybody, all of us do.
And nobody likes to be told that we're doing something wrong, but I'd rather hear that I'm doing something wrong than be allowed to continue to do something wrong and mess things up. So that's why I tell Russell,
Russell.
if I'm messing up, let me know.
Sure.
He said, well, I will tell you that I wouldn't do it that way.
Right.
But I understand what you're doing. And usually when I tell you not to do it, you do it anyway, and it ends up working. The stove is hot, but you apparently like heat.
There's things we do here. For example, if there's a ball game that takes over this airtime, we're obligated to MTSU. The station is. They're the flagship station of Middle Tennessee sports. I have to step aside. That does not bother me one iota. Let me tell you something. This station and MTSU was here long before Ed Raymer got here. Okay, and they'll probably be here a long time after I'm gone. And don't get too big ahead.
No.
Okay, because all of us are. What is it? Replaceable?
Oh yeah.
Rob, I want to thank you for doing this. You did this at the last minute. I called you this afternoon. I apologize for that. And but I will do it again. And thank you very much. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I don't know if I'm sticking around or not. I'm going to talk to Lady K out there, Miss Kelsey Wilson. And we're going to see if she wants me to hang around and help out on that show. Bill's not going to be here tonight. Jackson's on the board doing a great guy. He's going to hang with you. And until next Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night.